What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Jack Stands podcast. I am your host, Chase Monson, and this is episode 9. This week, we are talking about everything Formula Drift Texas Round 5. We're going to take a lot of time to really break down these battles, break down what my thoughts are, what I think is going to happen, and who I think is going to win. So let's jump right on into it. So if you guys look at your screens, if you guys are watching this on the YouTube channel, in which if you're not, if you are, whatever you are, wherever you're watching, go to the YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, 2020 style, and support your friend. Support me, the host of the Jack Stands podcast. Help and support me. We're trying to grow this channel to something big and crazy and to do really cool things with cars. So help me out, support the channel, hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and share it with your friends. So if you guys are watching on the YouTube channel, you're going to see on your screen pop up right now, basically what I think is going to happen in Formula Drift. It's a breakdown of the bracket. Now, I don't have round 6 because they haven't done that yet. They haven't given me or presented the bracket yet to everybody else. So what we're going to do is we're all just going to guess about round 5, and then we're going to maybe talk about, you guys are going to see me at Formula Drift, by the way, for Pro 2, round 4 or round 5 and round 6 of Formula Drift this weekend. So if you live in Dallas, you're going to Formula Drift, hit me up on Instagram. Here's my Instagram right here, and let me know where you guys want to meet up. I would love to meet up with some friends, meet up with some guys, and get to know some cool car people in the Dallas community. So let's hop right on in. So if you guys are watching on the YouTube channel, you'll see it all popped up right in front of your face. If you guys are listening on, any of the podcast channels, I'm going to walk you guys through it. So at the left-hand side of the bracket, top 32, we've got Chris Forsberg in that number 1 spot with a bye. And so I think, of course, he's going to make it to the top 16 unless something just crazy happens in practice. But something crazy has happened because loading up for Formula Drift, he smashed his head, got like staples in his head, did something to his eye. And so I'll post a picture from his Instagram about that he posted. And so that's his content. And I want to say, I don't know how that's going to affect him. I don't know if that's going to, he'll probably be in Texas for Formula Drift. He's probably going to compete. How does that affect him? Is he going to be in a lot of pain? Is he going to be on medicine? How does that affect Chris Forsberg, who is in the running for this championship? He's not as high up as he normally is, but he definitely could make a comeback. There's still 4 rounds of Formula Drift left, so there's a lot of drifting left to do. So Chris Forsberg obviously makes it to the top 16. Coming down to the next battle is Alec Robbins versus Michael Essa. I think Michael Essa walks away with this one. I think it's an easy battle for Michael Essa. His car just has to be on, point and drift like he normally does, and he'll be fine. He's a veteran to this sport. He's an ex-champion, and so I think Michael Essa really can come out and win that one. Dean Carney versus Roan Carpentier. I think Roan wins against Dean. Dean has a really cool car, that V12 twin turbo Dodge Viper. It's a really cool car, but there always seems to be some sort of problem with it. And so that always seems to hinder him. He always seems to make some sort of mistake. And so I really think Dean doesn't even get into the top 16. I think he loses to Rome. Rome takes the win there. Rome, if you guys don't know, I'll post it up in the video as well from his Instagram. He had a crazy start to the season, rolled his truck, flipped his car, all this stuff, and he made it to round 1 and did pretty well. And I think he drives a 350Z, or maybe it's a BMW, I can't remember, but he made it and he's doing well. And he's driving really good, and he's in the contender for, I believe, Rookie of the Year. And so we're going to just see what happens. Moving on down, we've got my boy, Adam LZ. The reason I'm growing the stash, it's in support of Adam LZ. I am, of course, an LZ fanboy. I love Adam LZ. I've been watching him for a long time, and I'm really proud of him to be making that jump into the Pro Drift Series. He's going up against Joao Barrion. Sorry, I know I probably mispronounced that terribly. But he's going up against Joao Barrion, and Joao seems to be having a lot of car problems. I think he blew his motor last last round, and so I don't know how that affects him going into Texas. I don't even know if he's competing anymore. There were some rumors floating around that maybe he wasn't competing, and so I really don't know what Adam LZ's top 32 battle looks like, whether he battles or not. But at the end of the day, LZ takes it away and wins the top 32, making it into the top 16. Moving on down to Justin Pollock and Jonathan Nairn. Jonathan Nairn is a rookie this year. He drives a Mustang, and JTP, who is Justin Pollock, also drives a Mustang. And Justin Pollock has been on fire. He got second place last round. And so I really think Justin Pollock walks away with this one. I think it's a pretty easy battle for Justin Pollock. Moving down to what could be a really, really fun battle here. We got Kazuya Taguchi and Ken Gushi. So Kazuya Taguchi drives a R35 powered S15. And so, it's a really cool car. Last year, he had the hood exposed so you could see the motor, and it was really, really cool. And Kazuya's been driving incredibly. He's been doing such a good job. Ken Gushi's been doing well, not as good as last year. He's kind of starting to slip away, I think. Ken Gushi is either hot or he's not. And so it really depends on how Ken is feeling. I think Kazuya has been more on fire than Ken this season. And so in my opinion, I really think Kazuya Taguchi walks away with this one and makes it into the top 16. Von Gittin Jr. versus Tyler Nelson. Tyler Nelson is a rookie this year, and he's going up against basically one of the most dangerous guys in Formula Drift right now. Von Gittin Jr. won the past 2 rounds back-to-back. He won round 3 and 4 back-to-back. First place, back-to-back. It's really incredible. I mean, it's so hard to keep a car together for just 1 round of Formula Drift, but to have these back-to-back doubleheader weekends to keep your car together is incredible. What's even crazier is that he kept it together long enough to win both rounds, round 3 and 4. He won both rounds of Formula Drift last time, and I mean, it's some of the best driving I've ever seen. Blew me out of the water. So I think Von Gittin Jr. gets this win over Tyler Nelson. Nothing against him. I don't know a whole lot about Tyler Nelson, but Von Gittin Jr. is coming off a back-to-back, a doubleheader win, and I think he keeps that momentum going. On the bottom of the left side, we've got Matt Field versus Travis Reeder. I think on this one, Travis Reeder takes it away. Matt Field in Texas is very interesting. Last year, he got out in the top 32, I think it was, or maybe even the top 16, and just kind of crashed into the wall. I don't know what the setup for Formula Drift Texas looks like. I know it's a different track, and so I don't know how it looks. I don't know what the difference is, but I don't think it suits Matt Field. I don't think he does that well, and I think he's out at least in round 5. In the top 32, I think Travis Reeder has been on fire. He's not a rookie. This is his second year in Formula Drift Pro, I think. Maybe he is a rookie. I can't remember. I'll put it up on the screen, tell you guys if I was right or wrong here. But Travis Reeder, for sure, I think, walks away with it. This is a battle that I can go back and forth. I think Matt Field could win, and if he does, my God, I hope he does. But I think Travis Reeder, I'm always an underdog guy, and so I think Travis Reeder eases out the win, maybe one more times, and Travis Reeder takes away the top 32 win. On the right side of the bracket for the top 32, we've got Chelsea Denofa in a bye. Chelsea obviously wins that one. And then we've got Wataru Masayama versus Frederick Osbo. Wataru has, in my opinion, one of the most incredible cars. It's an S15, a beautiful body kit on it. It is one of the sexiest cars on the track, and he drives it like there's no tomorrow, which is exactly what I like to see. Except he's going up against Frederick Osbo. Frederick Osbo is the best driver in Formula Drift this year, I think, and he is so good. If he can keep his car together, if he can drive really well, and, I think he's going to win against Wataru. I think Wataru definitely could win. It would be a huge upset, but I think he could win. I don't know. I'm going to have to go with Frederick Osbo in this one. I think Frederick Osbo is a more seasoned driver. He's just a better driver, in my opinion. I think Frederick Osbo takes it away. Moving on down, we've got Jeff Jones versus Farouk Kruge. Sorry, I'm really bad about pronouncing these names. Trying to do my best, so forgive me. I think Jeff Jones walks away with that one. That battle, Farouk has been struggling with car issues, and he just hasn't done that well this season. So I think Jeff Jones, he's a consistent driver. Not one of the best, but he's a consistent driver. I think he walks away with that run. Then we've got Odi Bachi versus Ryan Literal. I think Odi walks away with that one too. It's a pretty easy battle in my mind. Odi is one of the top drivers, and Ryan Literal is also a good driver. He's just not one of the top. And so I think, if Odi can keep his car together in practice, I think Odi walks away with that one. Then coming down, we've got the current points leader, Ryan Turk versus Kyle Monahan. And I think Ryan Turk walks away with that one. Ryan Turk has been on fire. That Toyota Corolla GR hatch has been absolutely slaying for him. This car is so good, and he's an incredible driver. And it's really good to see Ryan Turk come into his full potential with such a good chassis. It makes me so happy to see him win. He deserves it. He deserves a championship. Do I think he's going to get it? I'm not sure. I think it's going to be such a crazy Irwindale battle. But I think Ryan Turk wins the Kyle Monahan battle. Now, moving down, we've got Daijiro Yoshihara versus Dan Burgett. I want Dan Burgett to be better. I want him to be a better driver. There's just something, I don't know what it is. He just falls apart for some reason. I love the man to death. He's got a great YouTube channel. He's got great content. He's a good guy. But for some reason, he just can't get momentum going. He just can't get that momentum for some reason. And Daijiro is a veteran to this sport, and I think Daijiro Yoshihara takes that win. Moving on down, we've got Taylor Hull and his Cadillac CTSV versus Yves Meyer. I think Taylor Hull walks away with that one. Taylor Hull is a great driver. He's done a lot of preseason driving in the clutch kickers events and things like that. And I think Taylor Hull, I think that practice has paid off. He's doing a lot of good things. He's starting to get in that top 16, top 8. Not quite to the top 4, but he's playing around in the mid-ground, and he's progressing as a driver, which is really impressive to see. Then we've got Dylan Hughes versus Jonathan Castro, which I think has the opportunity to be the battle of the night. Both of these guys are young. Jonathan Castro has a tendency to be either on fire or not. He's either good or he's not. And Jonathan Castro was great in Dallas last year. So I think Jonathan Castro is going to do well too, but I think Dylan Hughes is also going to do really well. They're both aggressive drivers. They both have really reliable cars, really great chassis. I think Dylan Hughes eases out the win here, but Jonathan Castro is going to put up a fight. This is going to be a great, great battle. Now moving back over to the top 16 battles here, we've got Chris Forsberg versus Michael Essa. This is a tough one. They're both ex-champions. They're both good drivers. They're both just incredible. I think Michael Essa takes the win. I don't know why I feel that way. I think Michael Essa has been really consistent this year, whereas Chris Forsberg has kind of wavered a little bit. He's good or he's not. He's always consistent. He's always a monster. But I don't think he's podiumed this year. Has he podiumed? I can't remember if he's podiumed. I'm sorry, it's freezing in the garage, so I'm having a hard time kind of getting my brain juices going. But Chris Forsberg's good. Michael Essa is good. Michael Essa has been really good this year. I think Michael Essa eases out the win, and Michael Essa goes on to the Great 8. Then moving on to Rome Carpentier versus Adam LZ. My boy Adam LZ gets that win, goes into the Great 8, and that is a good battle there as well. They're both aggressive drivers. I think Adam LZ just eases him out just a little bit. Justin Pollock versus Kazuya Taguchi. This is one of my favorite drivers, Kazuya Taguchi. I like Justin Pollock. He's coming off a second place win in round 4 of Formula Drift, and I think Kazuya really kind of puts it all together here and wins and gets into the Grade 8, eases out Justin Pollock, and gets a good win. This battle could go either way for me. My hope is that Kazuya Taguchi eases it out, gets that good win, and moves on to the Grade 8 here. Moving on to Von Gittin Jr. versus Travis Reeder. I think Von Gittin walks away with this one again because of just how consistent and good and aggressive of a driver he is. He does a really good job here. And I think, coming off that back-to-back win, you've got a chip on your shoulder to continue driving like that. And so I think he continues to do that. And I think he does. I think he does a great job, gets into that grade 8. Moving on to the other side, we've got Chelsea DeNova versus Frederick Osbo, which also could be the drive of the night. This is going to be an insane battle because Chelsea DeNova is consistently good at Texas. Texas is consistently fast, which is good for Chelsea because he can just flat out mat the pedal to the metal and produce a ton of smoke and just do a really good job as Chelsea does. Crazy angle, crazy style, crazy speed, lots of smoke. That is Chelsea's game. And I think he eases out the win here. I think Frederick Osbo can ease out the win, could win, but in my opinion, I think Chelsea DeNova is the better driver at Texas. I think Chelsea DeNova has a better history at Texas, and I think Chelsea DeNova gets that win. Moving on, Jeff Jones versus Odi Bachi. This is really no contest for me. I think Odi Bachi's been on fire this year. Odi takes away that win. Moving on down, we've got Ryan Turk versus Daijiro Yoshihara. They're both really good drivers. Ryan Turk is so on fire right now. I mean, he's the points leader. He's got a great chassis, a great team. I think Ryan Turk gets that win there. And Daijiro, nothing against Daijiro Yoshihara. He's a great driver as well. It's just hard to beat Ryan Turk right now. He's such a good driver. Taylor Hall versus Dylan Hughes. I'm always an underdog guy. I always like the younger guys. Dylan Hughes, I think, gets that win. I think Taylor, he's a great driver. I think Dylan Hughes really wants to prove himself. And if Dylan Hughes can keep his car together, and if he can keep his chase runs and his lead runs good and solid, I think he can win against the almighty Taylor Hall, which has upset quite a few people this year. Moving in to the top 4. Adam LZ versus Von Gittin Jr. really is going to be weird. It's going to be weird. We've got Adam LZ, who's a rookie driver this year. He's made it into the top 4 against a guy who has won the past 2 rounds. I've said it every single time we talk about Von Gittin Jr. And I think Von Gittin Jr. wins here, but I think Adam LZ does something very good here. I think he gives Von Gittin the run for his money, okay? So, I chose Von Gittin to win. I don't want Von Gittin to win, but I have to be realistic here. I'm a fanboy of Adam LZ. He's a great driver. I think he's going to be a champion in Formula Drift one day. Of course, I don't think it's this year. It's his rookie year. But it could happen. I mean, if he wins the next 4, he could be the champion. That'd be crazy if he won the next 4 rounds, right? That'd be crazy. But that's a big stretch. I think Adam LZ versus Von Gittin Jr. Gittin Jr. wins that round and progresses to the final battle. Moving on to the other side, we've got Chelsea DeNova versus Ryan Turk. 2 guys that are absolutely on fire. Chelsea DeNova is known for the upsets. Chelsea DeNova can and will beat Ryan Turk at Formula Drift Round 5 of Texas. Ryan Turk is so consistent. He's so good. I just think Chelsea DeNova has a really good history of being an upsetter. He can definitely, if he keeps it together, if he keeps his car together, doesn't throw into the wall, he keeps the car good, he can really go all out in round 4 here, in the final 4 here, and beat Ryan Turk. And so then we've got so now we've got our final battle. We've got Von Gittin Jr. versus Chelsea DeNova. Okay, we're going to talk about that. But the battle I want to talk about here, and this is really an important battle for Adam LZ. This is the 3rd place battle against Ryan Turk. Adam LZ could win against Ryan Turk. I want Adam LZ to beat Ryan Turk. In fact, I think he does beat Ryan Turk. Ryan Turk is a great driver. He's points leader right now. However, I think Adam LZ upsets him for the 3rd place battle, and Adam LZ gets on the podium in round 5 of Formula Drift, which is incredible. And if that happens, I'd be so proud of my boy Adam LZ. So that's what's going to happen there for that final 3 battle. We've got Adam LZ in the top 3. And then the battle between Von Gittin Jr. and Chelsea DeNova. They're teammates. They literally share the same trailer, okay? They're teammates, they're best friends, they're buddies. And when they battle, it is like watching 2 giants fight. It is incredible. The only thing I can compare it to is the battles between Peter Vincek and James Dean. Those two guys were insane to watch battle against each other. They were some of my favorite moments. And I think this is going to be one of those battles. Chelsea lost to Von Gittin Jr. in round three of Formula Drift Seattle. And I think he wins here. I think Chelsea Denofa takes the cake, takes all the change, wins it here, Formula Drift round 5, and he wins it. Now, I don't know what that does points-wise. I think Ryan Turk would still be in first. No, he would probably be... Ryan Turk would then be bumped down to second place. Von Gittin Jr. would be in first. And I think Frederick Osbo would still stay in third, which is crazy. Absolutely crazy, and it makes round 6 of Formula Drift even more crazy, which would still be in Texas, which would be this Sunday. So it's really crazy, really insane, but I think first place, Chelsea Denofa. Second place, we've got Von Gittin Jr. In third place, my boy Adam LZ, bringing it up in third. I think that's what happens. I'm really excited, and that's a wrap, okay? I want to talk about, though, this weekend. I am going to be at Formula Drift round 5 and 6. I bought the 3-day pass this weekend or today, and we are going to be there. The vlog camera's going to be there. Everybody's going to be there, and I'm going to be taking pictures, vlogging, videoing, all this stuff, and we are going to Formula Drift, and I cannot wait. I'm very excited. So if you guys are going, if you're seeing this video, whatever it is, be sure to come say what's up. Say hello, check it out, and let me know what you guys think of the channel. Let's be friends. I want to know more people in the Dallas car scene. So let me know if you guys can come. Drop it down in the comments. Shoot me a DM on Instagram. All that stuff is right on the screen or down in the comment section for all my podcast buddies. So guys, I'm going to leave you here. Thank you so much for watching or listening, wherever you watch and listen. I will see you guys next week. Peace out. Have an awesome day, and I will see you in the future. Peace!